the reverse. Pitch back around to Chimre DK. He's got some blocks. He's got a first down. Angling for the pylon.
Not great. All right, reverse. And first guy I want you to take a look at here. Let me get this set up. Switch there. Okay. First guy. So obviously the play design is going this. And then you're going to have this guy come around. And it's just a easy reverse. So first, let's watch Taylor Upshaw here. Right? He's going to come up field. And his whole... What's the right word here? His whole assignment on this should be to simply delay this reverse. That's true. Hockey did get some payback against Wisconsin. I'll tell you that much. So what I mean by delay, obviously you're going to have this coming and this around here. He's not going to make the play. And Upshaw doesn't have to make this play, but he can make the play by delaying this guy. If this guy can just get a free run here, everyone's going to be trying to react after everyone's initial movement is this way, right? So when everyone is coming this way, this is the only guy, Upshaw here, who should just be, moving down the line here. He is the only guy who can delay how quick this guy gets upfield, right? He's number one who can do that. Number two would be Vincent Gray. These two guys can make some noise in the perimeter here to try to force a decision, either one way or the other, or just hesitancy from the end-around guy. So that doesn't happen, right? And if we watch Upshaw, so 91 here on the edge, he does well right here. Like he's got his eyes in the backfield. He's got backside contain. He's doing fine. But watch how far he gets upfield, right? Let's watch him. Boom. He's already lost, right? He's already lost this play right there. Why? Like, he's trying to make the play. And I understand why he's trying to get vertical there. But he's trying to make the play in the wrong way, right? He's trying to make the tackle when really, even if he wasn't impeded here, he's not likely to make this tackle. So he doesn't really impede any of the movement of the guy on the reverse there, and he's picked up from Mertz. Now imagine, instead, say he stays right here and recognizes this reverse. If he gets on his high horse and goes this way, or just starts shuffling this way a little bit, he forces this guy, okay, I either have to cut up here. Oops, I don't know why that happened. Either go up here or, bubble it out further. And that gives just more time for everyone flowing this way after the fact. But he makes the decision really early, right? He cuts up this way. Number 13 doesn't really have to divert his pathing here, and you allow for a block from Mertz here on Upshaw. So that's issue number one, is just you got to be smarter in that. You have to understand that other players will make the play if you just delay it. So look at all the green grass now that it's vacated from Upshaw, right? There's no one there. And the other issue is right here. You can see his helmet poking out. Vincent Gray does not do a good job getting off of his guy here. And you can see he doesn't really get there. You could argue maybe a little block in the back here, but I don't think there was anything. I think there's another angle I can show here as well so there we have Upshaw getting into the backfield. And you never really have Vincent Gray fighting off here, right? Again, watch how far he comes upfield here. Instead, he should just be working down here. Again, just delay this guy, right? It's probably a 10-yard pickup, but it's almost a touchdown because he tries to come upfield here and for reasons unknown. Like, it doesn't make sense why he did that. So see how far upfield he comes? He's just giving ground. Like, this is a math problem. This guy's going this many miles per hour this way. You're going this miles per hour this way. What angle do you have to, it just doesn't make sense. So if he fights better to come down the line here, again, it's just about delaying this guy. But he doesn't have to delay, and it's just a huge lane without any opposition. So that's a couple issues I see on this. Let's go back to the other one. The only other thing to really note is that as backside linebacker here, Josh Ross he should be, after this initial motion, moving down the line here. Instead, he turns his shoulders completely and just starts running this way, where I think he could have done well to shuffle a little bit and then get on his horse out there. But see, he commits really quickly. Boom, I have to get out there on the jet sweep, which I like, but compare that to what you have for McGrone. Watch McGrone. McGrone sees the play developing in front of him. He's shuffling, and he never really commits full bore. And Ross is kind of overstepping the lane responsibility that McGrone has here by his commitment here. Since he commits so hard, he's not able to redirect quickly, and there's a offensive lineman that's allowed to really block him extremely easily because of how over committed Ross is to that jet sweep, and he doesn't even have to get blocked in that sense. So yeah, just not good between those three players. And then you add one more thing I want to look at, actually, is a good thing. Watch German Green, right? Like, nothing really I can expect him to do here. He recognizes this play, and then he points and probably calls out reverse, but he gets on his high horse, right? It could be very easy for him to give up on this play. And watch just how quickly, boom, he's going to point, reverse, and he just goes. He chooses a good angle, and he's pretty much all out for the rest of this play here. So, all things considered, the effort that he displayed here to track it down from opposite side of the field to prevent a touchdown, that's good effort. So at least there's that. Okay. Let's move on to the next play here. Hold on, what we got? We got a chat. D-line is so bad. I mean, you lost your the 2017 class. This is what you're seeing now. The 2017 class had 4 or 5 defensive linemen that didn't produce. Add in 2 injuries to your top guys, a transfer out of Dwumfor, who was supposed to be kind of one of your leaders there. And then, I mean, it's clear that they've been going for the undersized, kind of grow into the mold of defensive tackles. Getting good defensive tackles is hard, but I think Michigan has also done a poor job of building the depth at that position. They've taken guys who they want to grow into the position, but no true defensive tackles, really. And that's been a multi-year problem. And, I mean, it's really tough to get defensive tackles, but they've relied on guys that they hope can bulk into the position rather than true defensive tackles. And that's why you have guys like Welshoff, who just are intriguing prospects, but probably not a true defensive tackle, right? And you can have those developmental guys, but they don't have those true defensive tackles. They're all gone. They're just not, they're not there. So I think it's both a recruiting issue and a developmental issue. I think the sacks metric is a little bit overblown, but we can talk about that a little bit later. All right, play number 2.
They need 7 on this third down play. From the pocket, Mertz has time, throws it underneath. Catch made by Deemrat.
All right, I won't go into too much depth on this. I think I have 2 different angles here. This angle, what's the other angle? Okay. Yeah. All right, let's start with this angle. Just looking at the protection, you got, 6 in, 5 in. Little stunt here from Michigan. You're going to have boom, boom, boom. They're just going to try to engage with 71 to get a loop around here. Similar on the action out of here. Boom, boom, boom. Goes inside, and then Welshoff will come around the outside. Takes a while to get there. Wisconsin is a good group of offensive linemen, and they cover that pretty well. Nothing in terms of any sort of pressure coming here. Looking at the routes, it's just a simple mesh concept. I should probably actually go to the other angle for that, right? Yeah. So mesh routes out of this gentleman, and I believe this guy, right? Hold on, let me. Oh, no, I'm wrong. It's 13. So crossing her out here. This guy is going up the seam to take out one of these safeties, just get them occupied here. This guy's going out here towards the flat to try to take out this guy to get him out here. And really it's just a mesh concept. If they're in man, then this works. But and then you also have the tight end going out somewhere. I think he's going out to the flat as well. And you're going to have Barrett. Barrett's going to follow him out to the flat. Okay, so that was a mess of arrows. Main guy to watch here is Green. So he's got outside leverage on this guy who's going on his crossing route. He is actually going to correctly pass him off. Michigan's ready for this. He's going to pass him off, and then he's going to settle. The issue is he settles way too far back, okay? And it's interesting because you have Daxton Hill who's occupied here, right? I told you about this little seam. He's actually just going to do a little comeback route here. He occupies Daxton Hill. You're going to have I don't know like what the coverage scheme here is, but Brad Hawkins comes down here in response to this mesh route. The issue is, it's a good job from Barrett getting out to the flag. He covers this really well. The issue is you have Green just sitting way too far back when he should automatically, like his eyes are in the backfield right now. He's looking here. But really what he should be doing is, okay, this is a mesh concept. Is there anything coming across my way? Right? That should be his number one concern. I passed a guy off who's going on a crossing route. Is there going to be a guy coming into my area right here? I understand getting depth a little bit because he doesn't know what's happening here. But I think as soon as like that should be on his radar. His eyes are in the backfield this entire time, when really he should be doing like a quick look around, saying like, okay, I passed my guy off, check in this area, what's happening, and he should like be looking for something coming across into his zone, and he never does. So I think that's his main issue. He's getting too much depth here with Barrett in front of him as well, and he just never sees 13 until right now. Like he recognizes it, boom, I'm in trouble, and it's just he Michigan had this play like diagnosed, like everyone is covered really well here, and everyone would be covered if Green appropriately played this and didn't get as much depth. Like he's covering no one out here, right? There's not a single guy in this back area that he's covering. So he's got to do a better job in the zone and recognizing that, hey, if I'm passing off a crossing route, there's likely one coming into my area, especially against a team like Wisconsin. So, all right, play number 3.
From the 1 on first down. Watson, they fake it to him. They just slide it out. Maize.
Simple stuff here, man. Simple. I mean, what is there really to say? The main thing to look at here is this tight end who's going to be just like kind of coming out, like blocking a little bit. Looks like he's going to block, and then he comes to the second level here to block G-Man Green. G-Man Green wants to get out here because this guy's, oops, wrong color. This guy is coming across the formation into this flat, and G-Man Green's the guy who has to get out there and cover it, but this guy just clogs things up with his route. So let's first watch this guy. He does a really good job on the edge. Michigan can't, I think Michigan has done okay on the crossing route. Against like elite athletes, yeah. But like in general, lately it hasn't been as big of an issue, at least not this year. But that's because defenses have essentially whatever they want against Michigan this year. But yeah, look at Ferguson, number 48 here. So he's occupied here. Barrett is engaged with him there. And he's going to continue upfield. And you have G-Man Green who is blocked, right? G-Man Green's trying to get out here, and he's blocked from 84. And that's it. 84 did his job. He got 2 guys there. Any sort of flow from Hawkins as well, where it's not really Hawkins' responsibility, but he sees him. And there's just no hope for him getting across the formation here with a few steps behind and just an easy pitch and catch. So this is more just a better play design than anything else. Anything else up front really doesn't matter, in my opinion, but that's just my take. All right, next play. I'm trying to fly through these because it's it's tough.
Oh, but
no.
He's one of those coordinators a lot of people are going to want to talk to.
And they hand it on the end around to Davis, who's got a convoy.
Another jet sweep, man. I've never seen a team just thoroughly abused from jet sweeps this poorly, or this often. It was rough. It's not a fun thing. Okay. Oops, I dropped my notes. Give me a sec. So first issue here is watch G-Man Green. All right, G-Man Green right here. You're gonna have this guy coming on a crack block, right? He's coming right here, and his goal is just take out the outermost guy, probably Hill, and take him out. And G-Man Green is gonna follow him, right? Him following this essentially does 2 things. It takes both G-Man Green and the edgemost guy out with just 1 player, right? That's a numbers advantage. 1 guy, you take out 2 players from Michigan, and it forms this edge, right? It forms your edge. It gives time for everyone else who has to get to the second level. It gives them time to get out there and you're 2 for 1, and then you're just down to the safeties, and you also have guys pulling who will get out there as well. So watch Jamin Green here. There's the crack block. And I think the eyes are the one thing that, like, would set him off to tell that. But, like, right about now, he should know what the objective here is, right? That guy gets home, and Jamin Green only now recognizes. And by this time, look at the cavalry, right? You got 2 big boys out here. Already got a guy on Ross. And you're just fighting a losing battle. Right here, you're really like one-on-one between Hawkins, Green, and these 2 pullers. Kemp is trying to come from behind. You got nothing else there. So that's a poor job from Green on not recognizing that, not calling that out. Another really interesting aspect of this play. Watch the first step of this gentleman right here. All right, this offensive guard right here, long hair boy. Watch his first step. Boom. And that's a decisive first right step here. And watch what that does to the linebackers, both these guys, especially Ross. But watch what that one step inside does to the linebackers. Boom. They're committed, right? Both Ross and especially McGrone come this way based off of that initial step from this guard. They're both reading him. They both see that, and you're done, right? Now watch a couple seconds later what happens. Since they did that, that gives just enough time for long hair boy to get a hat on Josh Ross, and he takes him out. That gave plenty of time for the offensive lineman to steal McGrone inside as well, right? You have the crack block here, and then you have 2 guys, like I said, one-on-one in the outside. No one can really realistically flow down to this play. So it's a good play design, really well executed, and it's about the maximum you could expect out of this play. One final thing, sorry. You really would expect your safety to do a better job than this. And I mean, Brad Hawkins. Brad Hawkins needs to recognize this. He needs to at least fly up here and at least like roll into one of these guys, right? Like he waits and he accepts a block from one of these guys, right? I get it. It's a tough, like you're unimpeded against an offensive lineman, but he accepts this block a little bit more than I would want him to, right? He's allowing that wide receiver to cut off of that block, and he didn't really affect the play there. So you'd like to see a little bit more aggressiveness out of Brad Hawkins on that instance. All right, next play.
27 yards per completion. They've been beating him deep.
Yep.
Mertz flips it. This is Ferguson, and the tight end rumbling free. And
all right, they really picked on Ross all game. All game. All right, you're going to have a little fake waggle this side, right? And then you're going to have Mertz roll out this way, and the key guy is play action waggle to the tight end going into the flat, okay? And this is just a case of you have a lane coming off the edge here, but you also have Ross just flying way too far outfield. I don't know what he expected here, right? Like, what was the game plan? If it's truly going, like, if the run is truly going this way to Green, he should be at least moving this way, right? Worst case scenario is he takes a couple steps this way, recognizes his eyes should also be on this guy coming across. That's his responsibility to see if anything's leaking out here. He completely misses that, and as a result, this guy goes unimpeded, and it's just a simple pitch and catch. And you have both Ross and Verlaine running at Mertz, but Mertz is just able to simply dump it off to the tight end into the flat, and he picks up a huge gain. So there's not really like a good excuse here. You have both Ross and Verlaine running into nothing, right? It's just, I mean, what else do you say? It's just easy. Easy mode. He made it easy for him. So, I mean, elsewhere, you have like a deep crossing route that probably also was open here. You have bracketed on like what I'm assuming is probably a flag route from this guy. So you have two brackets here. But again, Ross just doesn't recognize this guy coming across the formation, and it's a really easy play. And even if that wasn't there, this is probably there as well. So yeah, it's not good assignment football. That's not what you want to see. Like I said, Michigan's just making things really easy for offenses right now. How bad is Minnesota? Oh my God. All right.
End around. Davis behind the cut.
I could have included like 50 jet sweeps here. Guarantee I could have done, not 50. I'm being a little facetious there, but. Oh, yeah, this is, okay. Another jet sweep. And the thing I don't like about all of this is none of these guys have their... like, I don't know what their reads are. Like, what are the reads here? Because I see... Obviously, McGrone's watching Ferguson, right? And that's why he shifts this way off the snap. I don't know if Josh Ross's assignment is 14, but obviously the fake is here. But then you just have a numbers advantage when you actually run the jet sweep here. That you have no linebackers here. You just have essentially your defensive end, cornerback, and then your overhang safety here. It looks like a late movement from Hawkins to this side as well. Yeah, like he recognizes it. But again, you're at a numbers disadvantage here. Like Hawkins is your only guy there. You have like after So I think this is again on Ross. I think he's committing way too hard right here. If anything, if his read is this way, I don't understand why he thinks shooting this gap is going to get him anywhere, because he probably wouldn't be able to make this even if it was going that way. So I think Ross just has to like shuffle a little bit this way, but also I feel like he's got to at least respect this guy coming this way, because even say it is to this way, right? You have guys here, right? You have free guys here that you are simply a flow guy, right? Like you have backside contain. So at least do a shuffle or two. I don't know why he's flying upfield here, because then he just, again, him coming upfield here instead of just shuffling around, that makes one of these guys' job that much easier to seal him inside because of how much verticality he had in this. And when he's trying to work down the line, he just sets himself up for the block as a part of that motion. Right? Look how far upfield he is and how easy it is after 67 engages with defensive tackle. Then he can just fall off and, oh, hey. You know, instead of having to come up here, maybe if Ross had shuffled and now he's working around this way, that's a much tougher block for this guy. Instead, look how sealed he is automatically, and he's already out of this play. And that's just easy mode. He doesn't even have to be blocked, honestly. Other thing, is this Villain again? Yeah, you want to see Villain keep his outside arm free here. He just kind of tunnels inside. 71's allowed really easily to seal him off because he doesn't keep his outside arm free on the edge. So Villain's got to do a little bit better of a job there. He gets sealed off. Then again, I'm guessing this is probably the reason G-Man Green wasn't like the bona fide starter that Gray was. His run defense was not good here. Number 3 is able to lock on with Gray, and that was consistent throughout the game. Green just was not able to fight off against the block from the wide receiver. And then, so like that's it, right? You had Ross, who came far too upfield, not able to get off the block for G-Man Green. Villain had inside, or he went inside, wasn't able to keep his outside arm free. Then you just have one-on-one block for the fullback 34, and then you have Brad Hawkins coming around, and that's it. You have look at all the space here, right? If these guys are able to fight outside, sideline is your friend. This is your friend, and he has all this room to work with off of this block, where if these guys are flowing correctly to this play, you constrict the play to the sideline, and that's just not happening here. And Hawkins has to redirect here and barely stops a touchdown, so not great. And yeah, this was something, I think this was after this play, or maybe after the touchdown. I think it was after the touchdown after this. And you have Zordich and Brown. I'm guessing they're just fighting about the jet sweeps overall. And I don't know exactly what Zordich is talking about here. He's saying, like, you have, like, keep your outside arm free. Yeah, I'm guessing Don Brown's like, your corners aren't fighting off. And maybe Zordich is pissed about the defensive lineman not able to like set the edge here. But I noticed this after the touchdown. They're talking about like what the issues are there. Yeah, I mean there's issues everywhere, so it's tough. I like Zordich, but it's not a good.
Quieter part
not good.
He wanted to get his rest. Berger has a lot of space, and he's got a first.
Yeah, this one's mind-boggling to me. I don't, like, of all the plays, yeah, Hawkins doesn't take the best. Actually, in run support, generally Hawkins isn't, like, that used to be something I was really impressed with. His angles coming down from safety high, like from depth. He was able to do that consistently last year. I think there's just too many issues and not, like, any trust on the defense. Like, they're just not playing according to their assignments because of how poor a lot of things are going. I honestly think that's it. Okay, so first of all, look at the alignment on this play. You have a defense outside shading 65. You have 3 other defensive tackles on this side, and then you have Barrett blitzing off the edge. Like, what? And then you have McGrone with his eyes locked on 84 Ferguson. Ferguson is coming across the formation. McGrone is going to follow him. And then that just leaves essentially 2 free offensive linemen here. I think 76 the center and 60 out to the second level. These guys are able to get out to Ross. It doesn't matter how well Ross plays this. You're losing. The main, like the biggest blocks, I guess, toughest blocks are 65 on the defensive end, who's already to the outside of him, and 67 getting his head across on the defensive tackle. That's it. But like 76 will help 67, I bet, on this before releasing the second edge. And this is just easy for 60 to get out there. So let's watch this. Yeah, you see 76 get an initial pop on him. 67's coming across there, and exactly what I said. I mean, I watched this play, but look how easy it is to get up to Ross, right? You have Cam McGrone vacating because of Ferguson. You have Barrett coming off the edge doing nothing. And then you have just 2 wide receivers out here running whatever they want, and defensive backs are just covering him. Which I don't, like, I get it. It just boggles the mind that they leave it this open. Like, in this case, when you're leaving it this far open, eyes need to be elsewhere. This is a premium right now. You cannot have your play side linebacker when you have 3 backside defensive tackles here and a blitzer off this edge. Why is he also reading Ferguson coming across here? Everything you have over here, as well as Ross, should be able to deal with this. For his key to be on him with this alignment on the defensive line and a blitz here, that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know. So it's mind-boggling that you get essentially 2 offensive linemen free to the second level here. And then only now does Hawkins actually recognize it. You got Hill who has to come over, and it's just bad news, man.
They fake it to him. Maize takes a look downfield and finds his man. And
I think this wasn't the next play. Same drive, I think, though. And main thing, I'm going to pause it, and I want you to know what I'm looking at. Or I want you to guess what I'm looking at. Look at this. Look at this. We're having a party. We're having a party, guys. Like, and even if I step it back just like a second, not a second, but maybe like right here, you got 4 linebackers in, what is this, 8-yard radius, something like that? That's insane. All right, let's break it down a little bit differently, though. All right, so it's obviously play action waggle, or not even a waggle, sorry. But just mass protect, right? You got how many in for Wisconsin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in protection. No sort of pressure is going to get there, not with this rush here. Technically, you have 5 coming, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then eventually Barrett for 5. But 8 against 5, you're just not going to win that. So what happened here? So here's what I think. I think Barrett comes up because he's expecting this guy to go to the flat, right? So that's why Barrett's coming up. He's almost ready to go out here. Once he realizes 34 is staying in to block, that's why Barrett rushes. All right? Barrett gets a pass. Good job. All right? No issues there. See, Barrett's ready. He's got his eyes on 34. That shift out here, he's ready to go to the flats. He doesn't, then he rushes. Great. Fine. And then I'm lost, man. This has got to be a bust. I don't even know. Dude, you got me. Because, like, you got single high here, right? Single high for Brad Hawkins. I don't know if Dax is... I don't know. I honestly don't know. You got man coverage here, man coverage here. I feel like Dax has to drop back here. He has to. I don't know what else he would be looking at or what else his assignment here would be. Yeah, it looks like he's also on 34, right? That, like, you have both Barrett and Dax following him, but then you look at the eyes of the other linebackers as well. I don't know, man. Like, I'm lost. They're all running to the same. You have 4 guys on the same key here, right? You look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're all on this guy. That's it. They're. I don't know what the assignment and their coverage was here, but they're all looking at the same guy, and that's mind blowing. Yeah, I assume. I don't know. Because none of their motions even look like they're supposed to be deep. I would assume that you would want Dax dropping over here. But, like, man, I don't know. Like, it boggles the mind because reading the eyes of all 4 of your linebackers, or 3 of your linebackers and Dax Hill, they're all going for that fullback across formation for the waggle again. And, like, Green, yes, he loses this, but he's outside, right? He has outside leverage. If you look at his initial alignment here for this, like, deep crossing route, you can't really expect him to cover that. Like, he does well enough. He loses him a little bit, but that's just tough. Inside release, when you have outside leverage like that, you would expect someone to be underneath for that, and no one has depth there. So, I don't know, man. I'm at a loss. That's, like, the worst thing I've seen in a long time. It's not fun at all. And yeah, let's just another look here. Green's on him. Like, you could argue he doesn't run with him quick enough here. Like, he should, yeah. That's just tough. Like, he's not in bad position here. I would say that's just a better route and just play design overall. It's tough to expect Green to do any better than that. I like Green a lot, too. Like, I don't think Green's a bad corner. I think he's just playing a year before he should.
I always have an underdog mentality. I don't want to go to the obvious place. Looking for the end zone. Tangled up. Out comes a flag.
Yeah, nothing much to say here. It's a quick throw. This is DJ Turner's first snap of the game, I think. He's one-on-one coverage here. It was after an injury to Green after that tackle. So this is the very next play. Turner had to come in because of that. I mean, nothing really worth mentioning here. Pass rush would never get there, even in the case that's a quick throw. I mean, you just make the job easy for the ref if his hand is right there, right? If his hand is on the hip here, because he's in really good position. There's just no need for him to reach around like that. Like, if it's been a consistent problem where, like, yes, hand on the hip, but the near hip, right? You wrap your whole arm around. What does the ref see? They just see this arm. And his, like, head's in the body too. So, like, he's in fine position here. He didn't do a bad job. You just can't do that. Like, right here, if he just puts his hand on his hip, right? They teach hand on, like, the leg pad here, right? Hand right there. He's already looking back. You can start looking back there. You have good leverage here. You're perfectly fine. Instead, he reaches around for no reason. No reason to do that. going to get called 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000 times. Credit Wisconsin for going after the new guy.
And goal. Pryor, they fake it to him, and Watson just picks his way.
Yeah, this was rough. This was rough. Okay. So, Michigan's terrified of the jet sweep now, right? Jet sweep fake this guy. You're going to have Hawkins flying down here. Replace for DJ Turner. Yeah, DJ Turner's going to replace him, displace him right here. So it's kind of like a you move down, I replace you as deep safety. Main guy I want to watch here is Villain. All right. Actually, let me get to my notes. I want to make sure. Yeah, there's so many misplays here. So let's watch Villain first. Okay. So he's going to set the edge here. He's doing well coming up field. Recognizes the block and then he just stops, right? Can't be doing that. Imagine if he goes full speed right here. Like he recognizes this guy coming. Instead of stopping here, he plows into him, right? Maybe he gets, say, right here, okay? And this guy gets right here. Meets him right in the middle, right? I don't think that Villain should be fast enough to do that. If he can keep his outside arm free, make good contact here, that constricts this at least a little bit for the running back. So instead of getting here, he gets right about here. And then he stops. Think of how big of a difference that is for this offensive lineman. That creates such a bigger hole here, a bigger avenue of choices for this running back because Villain stops right here instead of right here. That just opens up a whole world of possibilities. So him stopping, look at where the offensive lineman is loading up, expecting him to be. Right there, right? He's loading up right here, expecting Villain to meet him right there, and then maybe there's something here, maybe bounces. Instead, Villain stopping just gives so much room. Look at all that room now. I mean, you probably already had something. We'll get to why in a second, hint, hint. But like you just have a whole cavern of space, and that makes the job of everyone else flowing to this play really difficult because just look how wide this lane is for the running back now, right? So that starts with Villain. It also starts with Welshoff. So there's that first, the edge that Villain doesn't set, and then watch Welshoff. He just gets absolutely hammered right here. Boom, boom, and he gets moved like 2 guys downfield 5 yards. Ready? Boom. Boom. He's gone. Just absolutely gone. Look at this hole. Again. Boom, right here. And then you have... So you combine those two things from Villain, Welshoff, and that's just a cavern, right? I really like Welshoff and his potential, but him holding up against double teams is not going to be his MO. That's just not going to be what he's best at. He's best as a pass rush specialist, defensive tackle, and... I just don't know why he's going this way in general. Like before the double even gets there, he's naturally moving this way. And again, I think it's just the terrified nature of the jet sweep. That's like the effect it's had on the defense here. But it also doesn't make sense because you have this guy, like, I don't know, maybe they're crashing the A-gaps for whatever reason. But regardless, Welshoff's motion initially taking on the block from 67 is to the inside. And then you add in the double from 71, and you're just gone, right? And given how easy, you can see Welshoff here displaced this far. Given how easy that was, that also gives 71 the ability to get Cam McGrone here as well. So that's just, again, this whole cavern is opened up because of that. So what else can I mention here? Yeah, like I said, that just makes the job really easy for 65 to pick up Makari Page, so I'm not going to ding Page for that. Nothing really going on the outside here. Other things. So we had DJ Turner, right? He was motioning this way to displace Brad Hawkins, who is checking the jet sweep here. So you already had DJ Turner moving this way. He's super late to react this way, and that allows him to get there late, but then he just gets trucked. So this is about as bad as this play could have gone. And, yeah, not what you're looking for.
They lose the center of last year. Tyler Biadasz is playing with the Cowboys. And they just continue to rebuild on that side of the ball, and that time on a first down throw.
Okay, another waggle. Another day, another waggle. Boom, 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 boom. You have this guy coming across the formation. Barrett doesn't do the best job here. Again, his eyes. Look at his eyes. It's on the backfield here. Instead, he's got to be watching for this guy coming across. Watch for this guy. This man. And he just doesn't catch him. Right? Boom. He's fine right here, right? But, oh, shit. He's a step behind now, right? If he really wants to throw that, Mertz, if he really wants to throw the ball right here, he can. This is open. Step behind for Barrett. You have Dax Hill, who tries to come up here because he recognizes this is lost. But him coming up leaves this guy open, right? Hard to disagree with Dax Hill here. I mean, he can only see what's in front of him. But there's also lost coverage behind as well, right? And that's on a combination of guys. It's on G-Man Green for, again, on this crossing route. And he also, I think, does he run into the ref here? Not really. Hey, he's trying to avoid the ref, yeah. Nice little, like, pick from number 3 here. So he cuts up in front of the ref, and G-Man Green has to, like, shimmy his way around him. So that gets even a little bit more separation. Given... I don't know what's happening here. He's already moving this way, so that vacates this area. I don't know why Vincent Gray is running that hard to that side, because he vacates the zone he should be in. Actually, that's a huge play. Oh, okay. I missed that. I missed that this was motion, right? So this was motion of this guy. So that's why you have Vincent Gray coming this way. And by the time that the play action already goes this way, he's way too far this way to actually get back into his zone here. So if he wasn't moving the opposite way, or that's Vincent Gray. If he's not moving that opposite way, he should be right here in the zone to cover this guy coming across. And that's why you have Dax Hill coming up here, because he should be able to depend on Vincent Gray here to have the inside against number 3 on this deeper cross, right? Dax Hill should be able to support this with Barrett, and he got that covered. Given the initial motion of the play, you had Vincent Gray all of his motion was going this way to get higher, when really he should have been hustling to get there, and then he'd be in a better spot. Instead, he was still moving this way before he was able to get out to his zone here. So yeah, that's an issue. I don't think that was an issue running into each other there. Well, you could be right. Yeah, I guess Brad Hawkins is kind of there as well for G-Man Green to run into. So there's a little bit of contact there as well. So yeah, guys running into one another. Doesn't help. Yeah. Guys are just not where they should be.
His analysis was spot on. His grandson has big-time talent. Watson breaks through, first down.
This play should have been snuffed out. Okay. I don't think I've actually watched this a second time. So I need to click through this a few times myself. Man, I don't know about this one. Like, I don't know. I get that McGrone's trying to make a play by cutting through the backside here, but, like, that's risky, right? Because if this guy gets past, obviously you have, like, traditionally you would have him working down the line. You would have Ross, the first guy through, and then you'd have McGrone as cleanup in case the guy cuts back, right? So it's a bold move from McGrone to cut up here and try to run down the line. It doesn't work out, right? So, all right. So that's my first issue with this. McGrone just trying to make a play. Understandable, but doesn't work. Yeah. Second issue I have here. So Ross does well to actually flow initially to the play. Let's skip forward a little bit here. At this point, he needs to understand like lane integrity, right? So like, I don't know. This is just my theory, but you have Dax Hill who beat a block here, right? So he'll have the outside. You have to trust that your safety is going to come down, take away the outside. So this guy has to cut up here, and he can go either one of two ways. He can either cut off the block inside of 34 here, or he can cut this way. And this is like the block, right? This is 34. I'm pretending this is this guy right here. And the running back can choose either option 1 or option 2. Option 3 outside, that's not possible because Dax Hill does his job and keeps his outside arm free. So he's taking away the edge. So it's really all about what Ross can do to make the decision for the running back. In general, he should be filling this gap here. Keep his outside arm free, get here, and again, force the running back inside into the rest of your defense, right? At least that's how I understand it. And then you would have, in a traditional sense, you would have Cam McGrone also flowing to the play here to take out number 1. You don't because Cam McGrone came through the line of scrimmage here and he isn't actually there. But even if this is the case, if Ross does take number 2 out here, right? If he takes the outside shoulder of this block, you should still have a play for Cam McGrone if he has to cut inside. That's a play right here I would expect Cam McGrone to be able to make. Instead, let's watch Josh Ross. He takes the inside there, right? So not only do you have Dax Hill who's trying to keep this entire outside lane integrity, I think he's expecting Josh Ross to also be here to cut out this. Instead, he gives this lane, and it's just too much space for Dax Hill to cut in as well. So I think that's an issue for Josh Ross not keeping his outside arm free. I mean, it does look like kind of an enticing cutback lane if you do have Josh Ross taking the outside, but you also have to trust your defensive end, right? Trust your defensive end, trust your other linebacker, and we're back to trust again. So that's like the main issue. Other issue, Upshaw gets beat off the ball pretty badly here. I mean, he is kind of doubled initially by Ferguson and the offensive lineman, but he gets pushed back a little bit more than I would want him to be in this case. I mean, he eventually disengages late and has his outside arm free, but at that point, it's just too late. And that's just a big gain. So it's a risk from McGrone that didn't pay off and then just missed lane integrity.
Badgers 5 total coaches are alums on this staff. Merge for the end zone. Touch.
All right, this is just when you tip your hat to the offense, right? Only guy to really watch here. It's a quick throw again, so pass rush is going to get there. So this is just a seam. You're going to have, I think he's actually going to stumble on this play. You're going to have Cam McGrone getting there, but Cam McGrone takes. Yeah, why is he stutter there? I don't know what this path is. Yeah, it's just like kind of a poor angle. So just a brief stumble out of Ferguson. You have just that hesitancy here from McGrone. He just hesitates, and then he's just late, and he takes kind of like a poor rounded angle for Ferguson, who's a really good tight end, and that's it. Not able to get his head around in time, and it's a well placed ball. So I don't even think if McGrone gets his head around, he's able to make a play on that. So that's just a better pitch and catch than what the defense did. Oh, this isn't actually defense, but this was a play after Cade McNamara got his first collegiate touchdown. It's got to be, yeah. And then the special teams does this.
Wolverines come after Vunovich. They knock him down.
Just can't be doing that, man. You get your defense. One of the few 3-and-outs might have been the only 3-and-out opportunity for the defense here. And then the special teams just, like, why do you call a punt block in this scenario, right? Just get your offense back. I mean, he is fortunate to get it back. Like, it's so close, right? 2 guys there that really are super close to getting that. So it's just really brutal. But, like, why even call a punt block? Accept the ball. Take your wins where you can get them. And for this defense, a 3-and-out is a huge win. Instead, they call a punt block, clear as day penalty.
Game all done virtually, of course, in 2020. Mertz on play action, puts it in the flat, and there's old Jake Ferguson running free.
How many of these do I have to do, man? Like, I'm getting tired of it. It's, again, it's a little waggle. You got 24 coming across this way in a fake jet sweep. So then you have Dax Hill coming across here. He's going to sit here. You're going to have Brad Hawkins coming up to replace. Cam McGrone's reacting this way. Barrett's reacting this way. Main issue is Josh Ross. Why is Josh Ross coming up this way? Keep his eyes on 84. 84 is going to just leak out here. You got 1-1 coverage here. Josh Ross got picked on this game and he never learned. His eyes, where are his eyes, right? What is he looking at here? What is this, like, what does he expect to do? Even if these are your true reads, you are better off being here than up here. There's just no logic to him being where he is with these reads. It doesn't make sense. If these are his reads, his best action would be here to flow down the line, right? If this is actually run play. Instead, his eyes need to be on 84, on Ferguson, and they aren't. Only at this point does he, with his eyes in the backfield, does he realize, uh-oh, I got, and he's just way too late, right? Look at the momentum here. It's just not going to work. And that's just another huge pickup on a bust. I don't know what else I can say.
State is shocking. What's happening in Ann Arbor is shocking.
Davis again on the end around. Anytime they want to run.
I mean, Kirk is right. Anytime they want to run jet sweep, it's there. Like, it's just there. I mean, this one wasn't played horribly, right? 2nd and 6, it's like 7 yards, but it still feels automatic. I think the biggest issue here is Green just never figured out how to beat this block, right? If he's able to just, like, do anything here, just, like, shuck him off, get to his outside, do anything except just get steadily pushed this way, then it's a good play. Instead, he just gets engaged, push. Look at all that movement, right? Only time he commits, it's way too late. So that really hurts. You have Gabe Newberg cutting inside here. He has to keep his outside arm free. If he keeps his outside arm free, again, this isn't a whole lot of space down the line of scrimmage right here, right? This isn't a whole lot of space. If Newberg can keep his outside arm free, he's in good business. Instead, he steps inside and you're lost, right? He's already lost. And then by that point, I mean, Ross doesn't do a too poor of a job here, right? He kind of shuffles and then he gets out this way. It's not the worst. I agree. Not like accepting blocks and not being physical to fight off blocks. That's been a huge issue. I don't think Josh Ross did a poor job on this. I think it's just a good job from the offensive lineman to get out to him. I mean, Dax Hill's flying down. He's doing what he can there. So, like, yeah, I think this is just a good job from Dax Hill. I think it's just a case of defensive backs, really, especially cornerbacks, not able to get off blocks on the edge, and the defensive ends not keeping their outside arm free or forcing any sort of decision from the running back there. Or I guess the wide receiver, but the ball carrier.
End around again. Davis lunges. He made the cut. Didn't matter.
And then another jet sweep. This is like icing on the cake, right? This is one where it's like, all right, we got him, right? Boom, he's coming this way. You have Dax Hill flying down, right? He has already diagnosed it. He is just, I'm not going to let this happen, right? He comes flying down. And this is a good job from Barrett, actually, too. Actually, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want to see from Barrett. Barrett has good eyes here. He sees this. He's going to engage Ferguson and actually push him back, right? He's going to push Ferguson back and get Ferguson into the run path of this guy, right? He's going to force this guy, do I cut up? Do I bubble around? And that gives time, right? Good initial reaction from Dax Hill. You give time for other guys to flow to the play. This is good. And it's all started from Barrett. Barrett recognizes it. Boom, 84. And now look at what that does to Davis, right? That is perfect. That is exactly what you want from Barrett here. That's exactly what you want. Dax Hill is doing the correct thing. He is getting outside lane integrity, right? He is outside here. This is correct move from Dax Hill. I'm not going to be mad at him for this. The issue I have here, what is McGrone doing? Okay? So let's back up a bit here. McGrone recognizes, okay, this is a jet sweep, right? Jet sweep this way. McGrone is looking at it, right? Eyes, eyes, eyes. Watch McGrone. Boom. What are you looking at, man? Right? As soon as he looks away, he's like, okay, I'm getting to the sideline. You already have a guy getting to the sideline. You have a free guy ahead of you getting to the sideline, right? So McGrone decides to look away. Again, you have Green on the outside accepting a block. That doesn't help in this space either. But you like the eyes from McGrone. He's not even trying to beat a block. He's just trying to get to a space instead of reacting to what's happening in front of him. Huge issue. And that's, if you look at like what their lane integrity is supposed to be, you got Dax Hill here. Ideally, you would have McGrone at least fighting and like occupying this space. And then you would have Josh Ross flying down this way, right? And then you have anything else right here. So this should be covered, right? 1, 2 with McGrone taking on this block, 3 and 4. That like you should have everything here. Everything should be here. Instead, McGrone vacates that and just beelines it for the sideline, takes his eyes away from the play, and that leaves that huge cutback lane. And that's primarily on McGrone. By the time McGrone actually looks back, look at all the space he's given up. So like it's tough because like Dax Hill did a good job. Barrett did a really good job, but you have just guys not taking their assignments. I think even Ross is like, he's doing his job. He's getting there. And then you have 58 running down the line here as well. Is that Ojabo? You got to make that tackle. But, yeah, that's just tough, man. And Green's got to fight a lot harder than that, right? Like, he's displaced already down at the end zone here. Like, fight off the block, Like, fight off of it. Do something. Don't just accept it. And he just never does. And then there's poor effort at the end from him as well. Or I'm sorry. What am I even saying? I was looking at Kemp the whole time, not Ross. My mistake. Kemp is the one who was flowing down. Good job from Kemp. Ross is way too far backside, but I don't expect him to make the play here. So that's Kemp. Sorry, not Ross. Okay, 2 more plays.
6 touchdowns.
Mertz has been replaced by Danny Vanderbilt. And look, Chanel, the other Chanel brother.
Just a fullback run for 43 yards. Again, man, where is Ross going? I don't... So, like, couple things. One is, like, I don't know what Hawkins is looking at here. Like, sure, he has backside, like, edge contain here as well, right? But he has eyes in the backfield. I feel like he should be getting, like, a little bit of depth and moving this way, maybe, a little bit. Because, like, there's nothing that's coming across to this side, right, that we've seen. No one leaking here. So, like, I don't know what he's seeing. Like, eyes in the backfield here like this. Like, at least, like, get a little bit of depth here. Instead, he like comes down to the line of scrimmage. Like he should be shifting right here. Nothing about what I'm seeing in like right here leads me to believe there's anything coming this way, right? Like his key in the backfield is blocking, right? Like there's nothing coming this way at all. So whatever key that he was initially looking for like any sort of leak to the flat here, there's no key. It's not there. So he needs to just be shifting this way a little bit more to get any cutback lane, and that's exactly what would have happened. So that's issue number one. He's not there, right? Issue number two, you could say, yeah, Chris Hinton needs to do a bit better job. Watch the footwork here for Hinton. So he initially engages, doesn't move his feet, right? He just plants himself. So he's not able to react. His head on the wrong side here, where you have both defensive end with head inside, and like these guys are occupying the same gap here, right? They're doing exactly what you want for Wisconsin, not making their job any, or you're making Wisconsin's job easy. And then next issue is, what is Josh Ross doing here, right? Like, he's flowing way too hard, right? Look at all the guys you have play side. You got Dax Hill. You got Barrett. You got McGrone. There's no reason for him to be running this way. No reason. You have backside. You should be shuffling. As he sees the block, then engage it, right? Come up and engage that block. Instead, he just like runs, loses everything, a ton of depth gained or lost as well, and he actually gets in the way of Green, right? He loses this so badly, he gets in way of what's really like a quasi safety and Green in this case, overhang, corner safety, whatever, and then you have just a free reign here. Just a myriad of issues, you know. It's not just one thing, and that's consistent. All right, last play.
Field all over the arms here. 2nd and 4.
I get to hit a linebacker on that play.
Berger's free, galloping to the end zone.
Oh boy. Oh, what are you doing? Oh no. I mean, really good effort from Dax Hill, right? He has outside here. He's going to fight off his block, and then he's going to get some arms on the ball carrier here. So let's watch Dax Hill. Boom, engage with the block, beats it outside. Nothing's getting to the outside. Except, whoops, why is there no one there? All right. Okay. So you're going to have a double here. Fullback is coming through here to pick up the first guy, and that's going to be Ross, right? And you got the running back following. Ross just doesn't do it. So you have outside here. That's the responsibility for Dax Hill, outside, right? The next lane here, obviously you have the defensive end here. You need to have the outside shoulder free for this fullback. If you have your outside shoulder free, you also have a free flowing linebacker behind you for that gap. Instead, watch Ross. Ross recognizes this block, right? Recognizes here's the fullback. Fullback's coming to block me. Instead of getting to the outside here, keep your outside arm free, right? Where's your help? Right here. He'll have that. Again, this was similar to the choice of 1 or 2, right? Always have your outside shoulder free when you're the outside guy here, because you're going to have inside help. You're going to have your defensive tackles. You're going to have your linebacker. Instead, he cuts inside here. Look where his head is. And McGrone is there, right? Say that we have Josh Ross right here on the outside. The only place for number 8 to cut would be inside, right into McGrone's face. It's probably a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Instead, because Ross chose the inside path here, you have both McGrone and Ross in the same gap, and you give an easy path for number 8 to the outside. That's it. And it's a touchdown. And I'm sad. All right, guys. Thanks for those who came by the stream. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the follow button to follow the Twitch channel. This will be on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you lasted this long, you're a sicko for watching this many plays. Even if you're on the stream still, you're a sicko. But it's not good. I don't have any good answers. But thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Subscribe. All the good things. Pray for Michigan not to Rutgers against Rutgers. And happy Friday when you watch this. Thanks for hanging out, Stealth Nader. Appreciate it, guys. All right, take it easy. Go Blue.